Odessa, Texas, we got Drop Dead Poetic. And from McAllen, Texas, we got MC Eloquence. DDP, you travel further, call it in the air. Who that?
See, before we start that plain old Latino message about how I'm an embarrassment to my heritage, I'm in no fucking form of Mexican, so please say the Spanish lesson. See, I see that horse-faced bitch and the whore-raised kid are important to you. So fuck it. I ran her through a torture course that began this morning. 40 guys raped the eyes between her thighs while you were trimming hedges and mowing. See, I described the terror and screaming when she was tearing and bleeding between beatings and constant waterboarding, but I left, because nasty sluts don't make me horny. You see, when I came back, I stuck a vacuum pump in her guts, sucked out excrement and nutty. Then I walked over, grabbed her seed and football spiked them and started force feeding them semen. So take this beating you're receiving, change your patterns with words. If you want your family in my bars, then don't put them in yours.
Time. Yo! When I first started pulling my thoughts together for DDP, I'll admit, I put my all into the endeavor thinking it was worth the continuity. Like if there was some form of value to your attributes lyrically. So each round I designed was a concept that underlined and connected vividly. Then a few weeks before the battle goes down, the kid cut the seconds on the rounds from 90 to 60. His excuse? Too many battles on his plate. And his ability to execute would be compromised because he didn't have the foresight to coordinate. At first I thought, no biggie, I'll just speed on my rhymes and keep everything the same. But fuck that! You disrespected the Battle King by underestimating the amount of time it would take to develop something great. So if you feel that shortening your verses is going to immediately give you quality over quantity, homie, that only shows the naivety of your mistake. You see, real hip-hop heads around here would rather hear 30 more seconds of you fumbling off the topic. It means you're not going to flop on the previous agreement made. So scrapping my previous verses might hearse and seal my fate, but I'll be damned if this dumb fuck lunch truck gets graced with a full taste of my gourmet.
Round two.
See, I saw what you wrote, demolished. You vote from college, seemed dope to your lobes. You vote as a low polish. You would have thought your word work was spurts of carbon the way you choked on knowledge. You gave a free performance to people who traveled out of state. But if you're a rapper on this day, I'll make this more than beef. Until your crew is forced to remove it's more than beast, like the four course and corpse after a Thanksgiving feast. See, you're whack to say the least. You're faking and slaying. He got drunk with power and couldn't stay in his lane. So to me, that means when your gang gets policed, he put Creed behind bars to be a star without serving hard. So in other words, I tell that whose is it tale. So he could bail, he paid Big Creed to take his L. See, I succeed where you fail, so fuck your VP position. You couldn't lead by what you speak, so you became a politician? Without succeeding in a mission, you couldn't see no Calcasta. That's why I melted your mic and put Keith the Leech or 4 levels past you. You're not a Bambino blaster. You're a premature, balding, kid-touching pastor. If spitting over symbolic raps means you're killing cats, congratulations. You've officially put to sleep anybody who's had to stand in my position.
Time!
Round two.
You know, Chris, you could actually pass for a badass Mexican dude if it wasn't for that weak, tiny voice. I swear, every time you spit, I start thinking, shit, I would have never voted for Pedro if I knew roids were his drug of choice. See, homie, when it comes to serving up meaner disses, I'm working the cut like a pizza business. You're cashed out on liquid supply, your pipes lose life and corrode with a rusty finish. My well never dries up, plus my steel is stainless like a pen thrust when a writer's brain gives up and quits scripting. Is that gun talk? No, that's yo, DDP. You mind fetching me some shredded cheese and locking the walk-in freezer talk? Die froze. From stunned and numb, from fresh bread to frozen lungs, forensic test results show the ill intent of hypothermic distress left a traceless mess. The killer's unknown. The only clause left is the pause where we reflect on how Drop Dead Poetic predicted his own death when he thought he was cold enough to feed souls. Yo, I hope you're jogging one day and a fire hydrant breaks your sprained ankle fall by your rectum. And back I hope you try sniffing some scented stationery and get a deep paper cut on your septum. Listen, when you start speaking, I don't hear anything but a cunt queefing yeast emissions. Instead of speaking, you should really reconsider your douche condition. Your lips gush with the aroma of fish guts under the hot sun with chunks of vomit from a malnourished consciousness spoiling in the distance. B, even with that sick and twisted depiction, you can still sense the clean scent of lyricism living up close, lumping up in your throat like tears provoke when you get choked and your soul's windows glisten. On that note, get this misty-eyed cretin the fuck out of my kitchen.
Round 3.
This ain't right. When I had to write for this, I was pissed. Because I found out that I'm as old as his oldest kid. But for grins, I paid. But not to find out who's the nicest, I just came to put an end to Eloquence's midlife crisis. I hope sucking dick to become vice president gave you hepatitis. And outside of this, I started stomaching as much footage as I can compress. So here's my impression of Eloquence in a battle session. He closes his eyes and peers into the skies and spits verses for dreamers. Asexual fingers of lone-strung heroes combing lone mirrors. If eyes defy, then I'll hang him high and dry. And the whole time he's spitting these Viking rhymes, I keep waiting for Mike Melt to walk over, call time, and tell Eloquence to go fuck himself. You giant retarded keeper elf, fuck your soul match. Your past trash. Forget that you're abstract, so cut the crap and go give Aesop Rock his raps back. See, so fuck a win. You couldn't beat me in front of grown men because we all know pop locking would cost the replacement of your hip hopping in. See, that multi-language shit that you're spitting is dead. So why don't you quit battle rapping and go make an album with Jim?
Time.
Let me close my eyes for this next one. Looking in and through the eyes of prize poets and coffin box stock type writers. Dead or alive, I find the great minds of our time punched in theologian moments just to gawk at their own silhouettes glowing awkward. As if they meant to lay flat on the school sidewalk cement, outlining themselves as chalk stamp martyrs, leaving lessons that truly drop deadly poetic eulogy effervescent sentences way more enamored than any thought Chris has ever harbored. Basically, DDP really needs to try harder. I'm talking Ginsberg words, Edgar Allan Poe soul, Saul Williams calls of wisdom, and Kerouac barters. Real scholars that traded scars for penmanship's honor. Hemingway type of typist infiltrating my mind's horizon scripts and crypt safes that lock me right in. Stethoscopes, checks provoke, couldn't decode my timing. Instrumentally paced a rudimentary taste. I'm a student elusively prudent to stew and serve. Gutenberg, food for thought, pest and license. AKA King James type of legendary printed fame, running crusade game on your crew's name like an ancient tyrant. Carving bars to the spigot starved. Even with no beef left, I'm still willing to test the skeletal frame of the funeral drapes on the sky of this MC silver lining. The only bright side to your life is dying in a fight worth fighting. I kill, I'm piling. Earns of my burnt opponent's bones from the incendiary flow I'm firing. Armed with an intuitive literal transcendence fleet, brewing up an unequivocal presence regime of schemes that'll flatten DDP's delusionally optimistic peaks before he even dreams of climbing. Pussy bleed, broken hymen. My poetry's divergenite.
Make some noise for that battle. That shit was good. I do not envy the judges.